This is a story about a 2-day road trip on Route 40, also known as the Seven Lakes Trail, considered one of the most beautiful road trips in all of Argentina. We set out to explore 4 different hikes along the road connecting Bariloche to San Martín de los Andes. Cerro Tres Monjes, up to jagged peaks, Cascada Nivinco, to a hidden beautiful waterfall, Mirador Bandurrias, a family-friendly hike with amazing views, and Cerro Falkner, one of the great peaks of the region. This 180-kilometer road trip offers so much to do, and we hope you enjoyed this video and it inspires you to take the road trip and also might give you a few hints on what you can stop and do along the way.
Welcome to our Patagonia road trip.
We call this the walk of shame. We're in the car ready to go and Meredith forgot her phone. Go, Mer, go!
Good morning. Today we are doing the Route 40 highway road trip, which is supposedly the prettiest road in all of Patagonia.
Sorry.
And the puppies.
We haven't left our neighborhood yet. It's gonna be a wild ride.
We've got Shelby here. We flew him all the way down from Florida to be our designated driver because we can't drive manual. And we've got Colin who packed and prepared all the snacks. So we're ready to rock and roll.
This next 48 hours is going to be filled with hiking, views, photography, and coffee.
Yes.
Our first hike stop is Cerro Tres Monjes, about a 50-minute drive from Bariloche. It's about 2,000 feet of gain in a mile and a half. It looks like it's gonna be pretty epic. Apparently it leads to a great view. Meredith and Shelby decided on it last night, so we're gonna see if it lives up to the expectation.
We read online that this hike was free, so we were pretty confused when we got stopped at the entrance from an old woman running the campsite. She asked if we had our permission. In broken Spanish, we explained that we didn't have permission and we'd read that the hike was free. After laughing, she explained to us the hike is free. You just need to ask the earth for permission to do the trail. We've never heard of this before, but we thought it was so beautiful, it's something we now start incorporating onto all of our trails. You immediately start a pretty steep climb after leaving the parking lot. The views are beautiful, but do be warned, it is straight up the mountain. We had the entire peak to ourselves, which is both a blessing and a curse because it meant that there was nobody else up there to block the horrendous amounts of wind that we experienced, but it also meant we got to take in all the views by ourselves.
No. Whoa.
Is that not the best view we've had in South America?
This is so cool. Holy cow.
Look at this drop. Once you make it to the official peak, don't be afraid to explore a little bit further. We just walked to the left until we found this amazing view.
We were in that little crevice.
Uh-huh.
We were.
So we actually did get to that.
That's crazy.
Wow.
just finished up that hike. We're back on the road. Definitely a recommendation for as soon as you start. It's pretty easy to follow. Right outside of the first campsite that you can pass. 10 out of 10 recommendation on that hike.
Stoked to see what else this road has in store. The Seven Lakes Trail gets its name from the 7 lakes that you drive around on the way to San Martin de los Andes, winding through the Nahuelhuapi National Park. Only an hour in, and it's no wonder why this road has so many accolades. If you're not looking at bright blue water, you're in the middle of dense forests, or staring up at mountain peaks, or grinning at the charming towns passing by. If you're hungry at this point, we recommend stopping for lunch at Don Zanon Parador. It's the perfect place to stop, especially with a family. There are tons of games outside to enjoy while you wait for your food. We ended up playing ping pong until the food was ready.
I think this is the ideal restaurant to bring your kids to. They have so many activities out front for them to do, and then a whole playground over here. One mountain climbed, many to go.
Way to go.
Colin, how are the empanadas?
Empanadas, 5 out of 5.
I got the veggie burger, which is doing very good so far. But Shelby.
And with my limited Spanish, I ordered something with pretty much meat and cheese, but all you can see is cheese. But it looks great. And it's got potato wedges.
My goal is to eat so many empanadas that every time I look at a menu, they don't entice me like they normally do. Right now, I look at a menu, I see empanada, I want to buy them. We'll eventually get to a point where that's not the case. But today, I love empanadas.
Good.
Come on.
And we eventually learned that there is in fact meat underneath all that cheese. Back to the road we go. With bellies full and ready to explore a little bit more, we headed to our final destination for the day, waterfalls. This spot's a little bit busier than the other one we went to today. We're hiking to the waterfall now. Read good things about it online, said it would be busy. I didn't think it would be quite as busy as it is, but it looks like it's gonna be worth it.
Which one's born in Florida? Which one's born in Ohio? Our second stop was Cascada Nivinco, a very popular hike, and we see why. It's a free, family-friendly hike through the woods. The most challenging part is the one big river crossing.
Just one more perk of the bedrocks.
Oh, look at our friend.
He's brave.
There he goes.
But beyond that, it's a very well-maintained trail, with a huge payoff at the end with a massive waterfall.
One of the perks of a family-friendly hike is that you can maintain conversation throughout the whole trail. Unfortunately, I was subject to this conversation. Outside of Colin, I think Shelby is the biggest cinnamon roll lover I've ever met. Him and Cassidy had them at their wedding. So it doesn't surprise me that we're on our second hike since we got here and they're already talking about the best cinnamon rolls they've had around the world.
The cinnamon roll was so good, I started to rank them just to see if anything would ever beat it.
And they were like incredible both times. So we'll see if we'll keep the streak going.
Felt like I could have it for breakfast and be like, "Ooh, that was a good, satisfying breakfast."
Yeah.
Party, I'm ready to go for the day. And that's not what I want. Too many empanadas, too much cheese.
From the waterfall, it's a short 1-hour drive to San Martín de los Andes, a much bigger town than we expected. And it was busy too, being Easter weekend and all. However, it's a beautiful town with some very interesting food at the restaurants.
I really don't want to go that big. Hold on.
Mary, what happened?
I thought I ordered olives, and we got potentially meat. We're not sure yet.
Gotta take a test.
I think it's mushrooms.
Like fermented mushrooms.
Good morning. It is day 2 of our road trip. We just woke up and
San Martín de los Andes.
I tested him on that one. I wasn't sure before, so I had to have him check.
We've got some monk parakeets flying overhead. Shelby's taking pictures of them right now. And this is going to be another great day on Route 40.
Yeah, super excited. We're going to go do a hike in town here, get some coffee, and then head back to Bariloche the way that we came, but stopping at different stuff.
You might not recognize it because Meredith wears this outfit every day, but today is in fact Easter. Easter Sunday. So
Yeah.
she's all decked out in color. We're working on my color right now. All my uniform is
You're
black.
a
But
little dark. That's all right.
the parakeets are in spirit.
Happy Easter.
We have one huge hike planned for today. But before we get there, we figured we would do at least a small hike around town, checking out the surrounding areas before hitting the road again.
Which is how we got to starting the Bandurrias viewpoint. 2.5 miles officially with about 800 feet of gain. We detoured for a little bit closer to 5 miles. We hiked along the peninsula around the town. We were the early birds on Easter Sunday, and we didn't see another soul until the sun rose.
We did, however, see some dogs.
It says no hiking with dogs. We tried to get rid of him, but he's stuck with us now. And Shelby said if he finishes the hike with us, he'll buy him something at the coffee shop later. And I think the dog understood. Argentina shows up for these viewpoints. Oh my gosh. Happy Easter.
No Argentinian road trip would be complete without some mate.
If you're unfamiliar with mate, it's an herbal drink that's very popular here in Patagonia. We learned about it when we were visiting Chile last month and have since bought our own gear so we can take it with us as we hike. Today, we're sharing it with our friend Shelby for the first time, and we're really excited to introduce him to our new favorite drink. Drinking mate is pretty simple. You pack the herbal tea into a mate container, and then you place in the water. You add the water from a thermos that's already hot, prepared to a certain temperature, and then you fill it up for each person as they hit the cup. So as I'm doing here, I'm filling up my mate. This would just be for my cup. When I hand it off to Colin or to Shelby, then they would fill up their own. And we pass it around in a circle until everyone's had their share. Martín, are you happy you came hiking with us? Yeah. Did you hear Shelby's getting you a treat?
Yes.
Yeah, you're gonna get a treat when we go get coffee. He acts like he's your dog now.
I know. You don't got no tag, bro.
It might seem funny to you if you haven't hiked with a stray dog before, but it's actually pretty common. I can't really think of a hike that we did in Argentina that didn't involve at least one paro at some portion of the hike. This guy did tend to stick with us a lot longer than any other dog we've seen before, but he was friendly and very much so down for the journey.
Oh, yay.
Coffee, coffee, coffee time.
So excited. Never gets old.
Estación de café.
Martín must have understood English pretty well because he did follow us all the way to the coffee shop, ate his little snack, and then went on his way, never to be seen again. But I think he was a pretty happy boy.
Leaving San Martín de los Andes, we were able to appreciate just how beautiful the road in was. Last night we drove it in the dark, so we missed it, but this road is not to be missed. It is, well, it's beautiful. After driving for an hour, we arrived at our conquest for the day. Cerro Falkner, 5.2 miles with 3,500 feet of gain. Sandwiched between Lago Falkner, Lago Villarino, and Lago Traful, this mountain is the second tallest in the national park. And, to our surprise, it was not busy at all. Our favorite. Today we are climbing Cerro Falkner. A beautiful, beautiful mountain. Super steep with a lot of great views.
For the first bit of the hike, it's pretty steep. You're going up through lots of bushes and trees and plants. We got pretty scratched up, but you did get some beautiful views. For the second part of the trail, you're in full exposure. And as you're heading up this mountaintop, you can no longer see the lakes, but you can see the top of the mountain.
We're now entering the straight up climb in the sand up the hill. Whew.
Once you leave the trees, you hit the final sand pit. This is straight up the mountain and in full sun exposure. It's a beautiful part of the hike, but it's really tough to get up. Eventually, you'll make your way out of the sand pits, and this is when you get to the area with a lot of rocks. The rocks are actually pretty nice after walking the sand for a mile straight. The views are beautiful, and you have a couple of false summits before you finally reach the top.
There are a few things more magical than summiting a mountain on Easter Sunday and finding a massive wooden cross. looking down on the beautiful landscape and the verdant blue lakes. The Seven Lakes Trail remains an icon of our time in Bariloche, and we hope this video shares even a sliver of how beautiful it is and the opportunities it has to get in touch with nature. We barely scratched the surface of the opportunities that this route contains, and by no means are we experts on everything this road trip has to offer. But that's the beauty of a good road trip. No matter what happens, you have a good time. Thanks for watching.
This is fashion on the trail. I am slightly nervous about going down because it took me a while to get up here because it's just so slippy with the sand and the rocks. And I'm not especially good at hiking steep downhills. So we're just gonna try to take it really slow.
We were powering down this mountain, absolutely having the time of our lives. We've only had one slip so far. Meredith slipped in some loose dirt and fell right onto a thorn bush. You can imagine how well that went.
Hi Scott, I wanted to thank you for giving me this bandana. It's keeping me very warm on top of this mountain. You're the best.